Hello Gunnies, welcome back to Hansen Group. Sorry for the long delay since our last video series, but we're back and we're going to start our 10mm series. Hopefully you got to see our whole series on the 6.5 Creedmoor Ruger S-FAR. Really cool series on a neat rifle. So if you like ARs, but you want the power of a whole AR-10, check out that series. So assuming a lot of our followers enjoy slightly more powerful firearms, now we're going to move on to our 10mm series. So we have a little collection of some 10mm firearms here that we'll get to review in pieces. Probably about 4 or 5 videos to make up the entire series. 10mm is a cool round. You come in here, you can see the difference between a 10mm round and 9mm round. Almost, that's something about 80% more kinetic energy out of your 10mm than you're getting out of your 9mm. So that's why 10's pretty neat. 10's a little bit to carry, so that's why a lot of people still carry 9mm, but we'll go over some carry options as well. So we'll start off with the big guy first so I can get him out of the way. We're going to do a 10mm carbine, and we have our nice new chronograph. And I don't have to borrow anybody's chronograph anymore, so we'll be shooting all these guys over the chrono and doing some accuracy and ballistic data. So nowadays, we have a lot of options for 10mm carbines. I went with the Thurion Defense a few years ago. I'm really glad I did. Just Right carbine makes a nice rifle, and TNW Arrow makes a nice takedown. They have the cheap high points, which are bulky, heavy, and just a single stack. But this Thurion, what I like about it is customizable. Nowadays they have an M-LOK rail on here, which I had their original proprietary guy. I swapped out put one of these minimalistic stocks and a Magpul grip. They're great because you can either use the standard 10 or 15 Glock mags. These SGM 30 rounder stick mags are really awesome. They're super reliable, but this thing I've shot almost more than anything else I have, and it has been unbelievably reliable. It's a super simple system they got, real easy to take apart, and I love it. So this is like my home defense rifle. If I have time to reach in the closet and grab this guy, I got a can on there. That's the Hybrid 46M from Silencer Co. I just use it in a short version because it's modular, and it's pretty quiet. Actually, it's some recoil if you just have the original birdcage flash hider on it, but with a suppressor or with a muzzle brake, the recoil is super manageable. 10mm rifle. I only have the bipod on here. It's a Magpul bipod, just for the purpose of the video. And if I take it to the range, I like to shoot it at 100 yards. It drops a little bit at 100 yards, and it's nice to shoot off a bipod at 50. It's dead on. This thing's real maneuverable, easy to shoot. On top here we have a 1 to 8 power Strike Eagle from Vortex. Great option for scope, and it's nice because the reticle gives you the drop marks. I think it's designed for 5.56, but it works out pretty good for the 10mm because you just learn where the gun shoots. And I have a little Crimson Trace green laser on here. Pistol laser, but it fit on there pretty nice and it works pretty good. Probably should have a light on there too. But this is going to be a real fun thing to see the difference in velocity that we get over the advertised pistol velocity from a whole bunch of different rounds. I'll go over that real quick before we show the other firearms. If you want to come here, we have good old Magtech 10mm. That's for some reason same company as Cellier and Below, but I think they load these a little bit hotter, but we're going to find out over the chrono. We have the Cellier Below. This is actually my favorite stuff to shoot. I have a ton of these in Jacket Hollow Point because they were the same price as the full metal jackets. These guys are kind of on the slow side. It's more like 40 Short and Weak or 40 Smith & Wesson, whatever you call it. But they're fun to shoot. The Hollow Points from Cellier and Below are big, gigantic. You can come in and see this. Big, gigantic, massive hollow points. I don't know, I think I'd be confident using them. I have this 1776 lead-free stuff. These are scooting along 125 grains at 1350 feet per second. So we'll shoot a few of those over the chronograph and see. They're like those frangible ones. And then we have the good stuff. We have a whole pile of stuff from Underwood. I have a 220 grain hardcast at 1200 feet per second. We have the 10 millimeter 155 XTPs rated at 1500 feet per second, which I think those are all at a 4.5 inch Glock barrels. And we have the 135 grainers at 1600 feet per second. So we'll run all these over the Chronod, all these different firearms, and see what we get. If we get enough likes out of this, and maybe people want to send something by Venmo, if you really want to see the really lightweight stuff, Liberty Civil Defense makes a 60 grainer. I'd love to see what those do out of a carbine or one of the longer barrels, because those lightweight bullets really pick up a lot of velocity out of the longer barrels. Also, Underwood has a 100 grain Lehigh Defense bullets, so that'd be pretty neat. That stuff kind of gets a little expensive, but if we just get enough subscribes out of this video, please like and subscribe. We would be more than happy just to go ahead and purchase it. We're not monetized just yet. We're getting there. Thanks for the support in just the first couple months. So that's the carbine. Let's talk about what else we're going to demonstrate here. If you want to come in a little closer, I'll have a seat. You can come on over here. All right, so I have these three guys just for comparison here. This is my 10 mil revolver that I use for hunting. This is a Ruger. It's a 6-shot, handy little hunting revolver. I don't like having a lot of different calibers. So this Ruger fit the bill perfectly. A 357 or 44 would be nice, but because I shoot 10 mil, I want a 10 mil for hunting. It's neat. It comes with the moon clip, so you can almost speed load. Just drop these guys right in there. And just as a comparison, you can see the size. This is my 22. It's an 8-shot Ruger. You can come see that close here. This is my Ruger in 22. It's a SP101. This is a GP100. Very similar. So when we do the video series, we'll do the carbine by itself, and we'll do these two guys, which should be a pretty close comparison. This is Smith & Wesson 10 millimeter M&P. This is the 4.6 inch barrel, the one without the thumb safety. This is a nice shooter, soft shooter. It has a perfect grip. The Glock grips are a little slippery for me, so you can see I put talons on there. I'm going to compare these two head to head. This will be their own separate video. You can see these are pretty comparable in size. But this is a 4.6 inch barrel, and this guy's a 4-inch barrel. But with a revolver, they don't include the chamber, where in the pistol they do. So we'll compare velocity out of the two of these guys. And I'll tell you, this has significantly more recoil than this, because it's the semi-autos kind of cushion that a little bit. This feels just like shooting a 357 mag. So the Smith is nice. Got a little Vortex optic on there. Those are great. It's the Vortex Venom. Love those. And these are 15-round mags on these guys. And like I said, just for comparison on the revolver, that's what the 22 looks like. And next to each other here, you can see a G19 Glock. Isn't that much different as far as carry. If you're going to carry a 10 mil, I think this Smith is the winner. I shot the SIG and FN and different friends of mine at the range let me take up a couple shots. I shot them all. I don't know, I like the way this Smith shoots. If you're going to carry something, I think this is the ideal guy if you want to carry a 10 mil. And then as far as long slide, so in between length, this guy's going to get his own video. This is the Elder Wand. This is the G40 Glock long slide. So it comes with this 6-inch barrel, which is awesome. But we have, if you can come in here and see, this is a KKM 10 millimeter. And I'm actually cut this to 6.75, so 6 3/4 inch threaded barrel. The KKMs are the best barrel on the market. They're super accurate and real tough. And it's a good company. So I got that guy in there. So we'll compare the stock 6-inch barrel to the KKM almost 7-inch barrel to see what we get in additional velocity. And this is going to be really cool when we do that because we also have a KKM 9x25 Dillon barrel. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's neat. So you can see this is the 6-inch, this is a 7-inch KKM 9x25 inch. If you take a look here at the difference, same barrel, chamber's almost the same, but you can see bigger hole. This is a 9 millimeter bullet out of a 10 millimeter case. So if you've never heard of 9x25 Dillon, it's a neat thing to read the history of. If you come in, I'll show you what the bullet looks like compared to, here's a 10 mil. This is a 9x25 Dillon, which is a 10 mil case, neck down to 9mm, and there's just another 9x25. So what you get is tremendous additional velocity and a little bit more kinetic energy with the 9x25. That's the guy there. This is one of these Lehigh Defense bullets. So the Underwood, let's say the Underwood 135 grainers are rated at 1600 feet a second. 124 grain 9x25 Dillon's rated at 1700 feet per second. I don't have the box here, but this little 90 grain pill, this little brass or copper bullet, is going at 2000 feet per second out of this, I think that's out of a 4.5 inch barrel. So I'm dying to see what we get out of a 7-inch barrel. Those would be pretty neat. So if you like 357 Magnum and you think that's the greatest round in the world, but you don't want to carry a revolver, you want to have a semi-auto, this is your answer, because this guy, if you look at the Underwood website, 9x25 Dillon scoots along at 1700 feet per second with a 125 grain round, and it's exactly the same as their hot 357 Magnum rounds, but it's in a semi-auto. So all you got to do to make your Glock or whatever into a 9x25 Dillon, just swap the barrel. That's it. Same mag, same everything. That's pretty neat. So that's going to get its own video. And then two other bonuses I don't have sitting here. My buddy's got a B&T 10 mil with a little subgun, and hopefully we can get our hands on the Friends CMMG Banshee and compare all these guys as far as ballistics and how they work and how they look and how they shoot. So stick with us. This is going to be a really cool video series. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and come on back for the next part. Thanks.